माधव कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी
जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी
यशोदानंदना ब्रज जन रंजना
यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजना
यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
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 हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
जय राधा रस बिहारी राधा रस बिहारी श्री राधे
Jaya Radha, Ras Bihari Radha, Ras Bihari Sri Radhe.
प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
गीताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
जयं विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमती जुबान ग्रेस ऐसे भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय इस्कॉन पेपर फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की
जय।
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की
जय।
जय श्री राधा रस बिहारी भगवान की
जय।
जय श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जी की
जय।
जय श्री गौरनिताय भगवान की
जय।
हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की
जय।
नाम संकीर्तन की
जय।
निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. Hare Krishna, reading from Canto number 1, chapter number 2, entitled as Divinity and Divine Service, and the text number 21. Very wonderful shloka once again. विद्यन्ते हृदयग्रन्थे छिद्यन्ते सर्वसंशयः क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि दृष्ट एवात्मनीश्वरे विद्यते हृदयग्रन्थे छिद्यन्ते सर्वसंशयः क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि दृष्ट एवात्मनीश्वरे विद्यते हृदयग्रन्थे छिद्यन्ते सर्वसंशया क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि दृष्ट एवात्मनीश्वरे
विद्यते हृदय ग्रंथि छिद्यन्ते सर्वसंशया क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि दृष्ट एवात्मनीश्वरे
विद्यते
हृदय ग्रंथिः
छिद्यन्ते
सर्वसंशया
क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि
दृष्ट एवात्मनीश्वरे विद्यते हृदय ग्रंथिः छिद्यन्ते सर्वसंशया चास्य कर्माणि क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि दृष्ट एवात्मनीश्वरे
विद्यन्ते हृदय ग्रन्थिः छिद्यन्ते
सर्वसंशया
क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि
दृष्ट एवात्मनीश्वरे विद्यते हृदय ग्रन्थिः छिद्यन्ते सर्वसंशया क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि दृष्ट एवात्मनीश्वरे.
Word to word translation. Vidyate pierced. Hridaya heart. Grantihi knots. Shiyante chidyante cut to pieces. Sarva all. Samshayah misgiving. Kshiyante terminated. Cha and asya his. Karmani chain of fruitive actions. Drishte having seen. Eva certainly. Atmani onto the self. Ishware dominating. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Thus the knot in the heart is pierced and all misgivings are cut to pieces. The chain of fruitive actions is terminated when one sees the self as master. Purport. Attaining scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead means seeing one's own self simultaneously. As far as the identity of living being as spirit self is concerned, there are a number of speculations and misgivings. The materialist does not believe in existence of spirit self, and empiric philosophers believes in the impersonal feature of the whole spirit without individuality of living beings. But the transcendentalists affirm that the soul and the supersoul are two different identities, qualitatively one but quantitatively different. There are many other theories, but all these different speculations are at once cleared off as soon as Sri Krishna is realized in truth by the process of Bhakti Yoga. Sri Krishna is like the sun, and the materialistic speculations about the absolute are like the darkest midnight. As soon as the Krishna sun is arisen within one's heart, the darkness of materialistic speculations about the absolute truth and the divine beings is at once cleared off. In the presence of sun, the darkness cannot stand, and the relative truths that were hidden within the dense darkness of ignorance become clearly manifested by the mercy of Krishna, who is residing in everyone's heart as the Super Soul. In Bhagavad Gita 10.11, the Lord says that in order to show special favor to his pure devotees, he personally eradicates the dense darkness of the misgivings by switching on the light of pure knowledge within the heart of the devotee. Therefore, because of the personality of Godhead's taking charge of illuminating the heart of his devotee, certainly a devotee engaged in his service is transcendental love cannot remain in darkness. He comes to know everything of the absolute and the relative truth. The devotee cannot remain in darkness, and because the devotee is enlightened by the personality of Godhead, his knowledge is certainly perfect. This is not the case for those who speculate on the absolute truth by dint of their own limited power of approach. Perfect knowledge is called parampara, or deductive knowledge coming down from the authority to the submissive oral receiver who is bona fide by service and surrender. One cannot challenge the authority of the Supreme and know him also at the same time. He reserves the right of being exposed to such challenging spirit of an insignificant spark of the submit whole, a spark subjected to control all of illusory energy. The devotees are submissive, and therefore the transcendental knowledge descends from the personality of Godhead to Brahma, and from Brahma to his sons and disciples in succession. This process is helped by the Super Soul within such devotees. That is the perfect way of learning transcendental knowledge. This enlightenment perfectly enables the devotee to distinguish spirit from matter, because the knot of spirit and matter is untied by the Lord. This knot is called ahankara, and it falsely obliges a living being to become identified with matter. As soon as this knot is loosened, therefore, all the clouds of doubt at once cleared off. One sees his master and fully engages himself in transcendental loving service of the Lord, making a full termination of chain of fruitive action. In material existence, a living being creates his own chain of fruitive works and enjoys the good and bad efforts of these actions life after life. But as soon as he engages himself in the loving service of the Lord, he at once becomes free from the chain of karma. His actions no longer create any reactions. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishram Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamiham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Swagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanshakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Devye Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So welcome to Srimad Bhagavatam class here at ISKCON Goregaon West. I welcome all of you, the physical and virtual, both the devotees. So today's shloka is also very wonderful. Most of the time in this material world, our asakti, our attachment to certain places, certain people, certain situations becomes very much cause for our own disturbances, for our own dukkhas in this lifetime. It gives a lot of miseries to us, even some many times people also. If we become attached to someone or something, that same person or same thing becomes a cause of our miseries in this world. So that's why this attachment or the nature of attachment has been condemned by many scriptures, and most of the time all the scriptures and the teachings of acharyas gives us a very basic principle of virakti from everything. Even Lord has given us the epitome that even we are working for something, we should be detached from the results of that working. Otherwise, that will also cause a certain effect in our life. The prayers of Queen Kunti Maharani, she gives a very wonderful shloka. Dridam Snehapasham imam chindi dridam pandushu vrishnishu. I think it's the 8th verse, right? 8th chapter, 1.8. So, she gives a very wonderful understanding. Anybody knows the number of that?
1.34.
34.
I think so.
Huh? No, Sneha Pasham, the last two lines are Sneha Pasham imam chindi dridam pandushu vrishnishu. So, it's a 41. Atha Vishvesha Vishvatmak Vishwamurte Swakeshu me Sneha Pasham imam chindi dridam pandushu vrishnishu. So, it's a 1.8.41. The translation goes like this: O Lord of Universe, O Vishvesha, Soul of the Universe, Vishwatmana, O Personality of Form of the Universe, Vishwamurte, please therefore sever my tie of affection for my kinsmen, the Pandavas and the Vrishnis. Now Pandavas is Sasural, in-laws home, and Vrishnishu are the like Maika of Kunti Maharani, right? And she is saying, my dear Lord, you should sever the knot of my affection towards both of them. So she is a woman, and a woman body, of course. She is spiritual pure devotee of the Lord, but in a woman body, and she is giving us a understanding of a perfect virakti and perfect detachment, that even I don't want this. Most of the time in material world, we are so attached to our Maika or in-laws or like that this is what those people are completely materially engrossed. They consider their family to be the everything for them. They are my Lord, they are my Bhagavan, like that people consider it. But here Kunti Maharani is telling that, my dear Lord, you just cut off these ties of affection towards my Pandavas, means who? Her own children. You cut down that. Because until and unless somebody doesn't cut down the affectionate bonds in this material world, especially to the relatives, especially to the product of our own body, okay, we are unable to take the full shelter of the lotus feet of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, so in order to become attached to the Supreme Lord, we have to cut down the knots to the material uh, relations. Okay. Now, people consider very much wrong that, oh, see, you are telling that, okay, because you don't wanted that responsibility of your mother and father and children and wife, and that's why you have become this kind of a devotee and ISKCON person, and you have taken these kind of robes because you are running away from the responsibility. No, you are detached from something, or if you are not attached to something, that doesn't mean you don't have affection and love towards any person, or you are running away from responsibility. Not like that. Okay, if Kunti Maharani wanted to become detached from that affection towards Pandavas and Krishna, that doesn't mean she has not performed her duties well. She did her duties, performed well. Prahlad Maharaj was detached, but he performed when he became a king. He ruled entire kingdom very nicely. Pandavas, they were the totally pure devotees of the Lord, but they ruled this planet Earth, whatever time period was there. They ruled it very nicely, very virtuously. So devotees, they are detached from the material affection, material bondings and material attachment, but they are not irresponsible people. So even if somebody comes to the devotional service, yeah, the basic principle is to become detached from this material attachment, but that doesn't mean that person is irresponsible. He or she doesn't do his or her family duties, or they don't take care of their mother and father. Of course, like in case of a brahmacharya ashram or sannyasa ashram, especially like I will tell about brahmacharya ashram, we being a brahmachari cannot support family financially because we have given up everything for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, entire whatever is there in our life. But whenever there is a necessity for our parents, whenever there is a situation where they need us, definitely we go and we serve as much as they want. And there are innumerable incidences where our own brahmacharis from the temple, they have went and they served their mother and father to fulfillment. Okay, till the end of their life they have served it. So we are not responsible, but we are taking the higher responsibility which is given by the Shastras, as we are the human beings. Okay, so how much we can help our own kinsmen till they are there in this body, and how we will help them in regards to their ahara, nidra, bhaya and maithuna. But that is all temporary. We don't understand that, okay, whatever material responsibility we are trying to fulfill, actually these responsibilities are the material, and of course even if it is a material, it is a temporary. It will not help that person for long time. Okay, so whatever the responsibilities are there, or the most it will help for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years or 60 years. What after that? Then these atheistic people, they give argument, अरे किसने देखा शरीर छूटने के बाद. That's what Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport, that there are the materialistic people, those who consider there is no spirit soul, whatever is the ultimate is the body. Once body is over, everything is over. But these materialistic people, they cannot give understanding for the near-death experiences, out-of-body experiences and the reincarnation phenomena. They are the scientific phenomena. They don't have that explanation, and they don't even touch those subject matter. They just get still the body and they leave it. Okay, oh, that's myth, that's myth. There are the practical examples of that, but they don't touch that subject matter because they will get exposed. Then there are certain, what Prabhupada has used the word for them is actually impersonalists. There are certain impersonalists. They see, okay, spirit self, but they see the spirit self in order to the whole spirit. There is no individual spirit. You know, we all are one. You know? and whatever there is ultimate spirit, that is one, and that one spirit is reflecting, just like they give there is a analogy of, there is a sun, and there are different matkas, earthen pots has been kept, and the reflection of sun has been seeing into each and every earthen pot uh, as individual, but it's not single and individual sun, it's only the reflection. Similarly, they say that the whole supreme personality of Godhead is one like a sun, and we are like a earthen pots, and it's a reflection of the supreme personality of Godhead within our heart. So that is what the impersonalistic philosophy, Mayavadi philosophy, that everyone is one, right? That means the cow is one, the kutta is one, the ghoda is one, and everything is one. So if everything is one, everybody's need is same. So what if I give cow's food to you, or dog's food to you, or even if a hog's food to you? Then what will happen? Once Srila Prabhupada was traveling through train, and it was the winter time. So what happened? One Mayavadi person was sitting in front of Prabhupada, and he was, started arguing by seeing the robes and Vaishnava Tilak. He started arguing with Srila Prabhupada. Everything is one, you are one, I am one, the spirit self is one, everything is this. Okay? Prabhupada little bit said something to him. Like, okay, no worries, this is not the philosophy, this is what actually it is. And Prabhupada started telling him a little bit. Nothing happened. He's a stubborn person, especially Mayavadis are very stubborn. Okay, they are most egoistic. More than the stubbornness, they have the ego, lot of ego. Because they consider themselves to be the Supreme Lord. Now, how can you argue with me? Because I am a Supreme Personality of Godhead. Na? So that's why they have a lot of ego within them. So naturally, Srila Prabhupada said, okay, no worries. After that, night sunset happened and nightfall happened. And what happened? They started making their beds and everything. What Srila Prabhupada did, Srila Prabhupada took his kambal. And after taking that kambal, he took out one thread out of that kambal and gave it to him. Like, what happened? Like, no, you want to sleep. But I want kambal, na? So I gave it to you. Like, what is this? This is one thread from a kambal. How can I sleep with this? See, just like you, me, and the Supreme Lord are one. Similarly, this thread and the whole kambal is also same. So whether it is a whole kambal or one thread you are taking, it's equal. Take that one thread. And he was like unanswered. Like, he cannot say anything in front of Srila Prabhupada. Then he started sleeping like that only in that Triturta Hua Thandi. And after some time, please give me kambal. Well, I have already given you kambal. Take that. No, please, I am suffering right now. Take a kambal. Well, that's why I am saying the individual soul cannot be the whole and soul. Okay, the Lord is different. We are different. We can be qualitatively one with the Lord, but quantitatively we cannot be one with Supreme Lord. That's what Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport also. A complete ocean cannot be compared with the water taken within the glass. Although it is qualitatively same. If you drink a ocean water, it's a salty. Similarly, the glass water which is taken from the ocean itself is a salty. The nutrients, ingredients which are within the ocean water, that is same. The color might be the same, but the quantitatively it is very different. Ocean is a huge and the glass water is measurable. Ocean water cannot be measured by us, right? So that's what Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here. The soul and super soul has a two different identity. That's why Krishna is mentioning Mame Vamshu Jivaloke. You are my part and parcel. So when Krishna says part and parcel, we are the parcel sent through Borzo or sent through porter from the spiritual world to this material world because of our rebellious mentality. So that's why it's a parcel, and we are just a part, one small fragment of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just like if you have, in the winter season we have that aag jalate hum and log side bonfire. I don't know why it is called as bonfire. It's a bonfire. mostly it's my gross kind of a very dirty imagination that many times you see when we go to jungle, people have that bonfire on that they cook the meat. That's
Maybe
why maybe
bonfire.
they are calling as a bonfire. Maybe, I don't know. It might be the very great speculation from my mind. I don't know why they called it as a bonfire, but okay. Uh, we will see it's a vegetarian bonfire, okay, without onion garlic. So, that whenever we have that bonfire, there is a one complete fire which burns the wood, and then there is a small spark of that bonfire which comes out. Now when that sparks they just comes out, now they are very small, but most of the time you will see when they will fall on our clothes, they burn our clothes in a small quality, a small quantity, right? So what that happens, like if that whole fire comes onto us, our whole clothes will get burned, we also get burned. But the small spark has a capacity to burn only a limited capacity, with a limited capacity. Similarly, the Lord is a complete whole, He has the whole quality and in the whole quantity. But being a part and parcel, we also have that small quality of the Lord to burn something, but not in a much quantity. So that is what called as difference in the quality and the quantity. Now, Mayavadi people may say, according to that analogy, these all spark they will come together, and then there will be a whole bonfire, or that spark, if it falls on the dry leaves, then they can burn the entire forest. Thank you very much for extending that analogy, but it's an illogical explanation of the analogy. Analogy cannot be stretched to its extent. Analogies are given for explaining certain aspect or certain principle. That doesn't mean that whole and soul analogy can work for everything. Okay, that's like, no, we say like is that song is there, झील सी नीली आके कोई राज ही नहीं गहरा, something like that song was there, right?
चांद सा रोशन चेहरा.
चांद सा रोशन चेहरा जुल्फों का रंग सुनहरा, right? You know that song was there. Now चांद सा रोशन चेहरा means what? That's an analogy given. Okay, sorry, we should not sing Bollywood songs like this, but in order to explain how analogies cannot be extended or cannot be stretched like a rubber. Like Chand Sa Roshan Chehra means the analogy is given that that person is a very beautiful and very fair or wonderful. So that's why he looks like a, or she looks like a Chand Sa Roshan Chehra. And there is a effulgence. That doesn't mean डेट नाइट में आप उस व्यक्ति को लेके जाओगे तो पूरा दुनिया वो उजाला हो जाएगा. नॉट लाइक दैट, दैट्स एन एनालॉजी, राइट? झील सी नीली आंखें, दैट डजंट मीन कि वो रोने लगेगा तो ऐसे पूरा का पूरा डैम भर जाएगा 100%. नॉट लाइक दैट. सो एनालॉजीज कैन नॉट बी स्ट्रेच्ड, अदरवाइज इट विल लूज इट्स दैट spark or value or the importance. So most of the time these analogies has to be taken in context, not the text wise. Even in scriptures should be taken most of the time in context wise, not in the text wise. Now I will give you analogy. When Amrish Maharaj's episode happened, Durvasa Muni created that fire demon, and the fire demon came to kill Amrish Maharaj. Now see, Amrish Maharaj is such a great devotee that when that demon came in front of Amrish Maharaj is having a capacity to kill the demon and simultaneously to punish Durvasa Muni also. He is a pure devotee of the Lord. Even Sudarshan Chakra was personally protecting him and his entire kingdom. But Amrish Maharaj, what he did? He just folded his hands and said, okay, whatever is there, I will accept. Now that is one who is a really thoroughly surrendered devotee, he can do it. In that context also, plus in Pradikshit Maharaj's context also, it is said, Tiraskrita vipralabdha kshapta kshatta hata api nasya tat pratikuruvanti tad bhakta prabhavopi. Even if somebody does a tiraskar of the Lord's devotee, gives him galis, try to beat him, try to defend him, or even try to kill him, devotee never retaliates. How many of us can do that? None of us. And it's not practical actual most of the time. Of course, it is practical for the devotees like a Pandavas, Amrish Maharaj, but for a sadhaka person, it cannot be practical. So, how to take this? So, that's why it is said, most of the time the things should be taken in the context wise, not in the text wise. Otherwise, it lose its potency, it lose its value, it lose its spark actually. So, we can take an inspiration, we can aspire for certain qualities, but when it comes to particularly to our life, by seeing the practicality, we should have a self-defense. If somebody is trying to defame you unnecessarily, we should have our own stance. And that's what Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, that Arjun, although this is there, you want to give that kingdom, very nice, you want to go to the forest, but let me tell you, this is not practical for you. When you go to the forest, because you are Kshatriya, if somebody does something, if somebody not give bhiksha to you, what you will do, you will take out a Gandivar, Dhanushya, and you will try to hurt that person. So artificially you cannot suppress your nature. So similarly, we are sadhaka level, we should have those Vaishnava qualities within us, but simultaneously, without hurting other people, we should learn the self-defense with a very humble heart. That is what Krishna is willing from us. So this is very practically we should understand these certain things. Now next Srila Prabhupada is telling that there is a very wonderful shloka, even in Back to Godhead magazine you will see down there is a slogan of Back to Godhead. Krishna Surya Sama Maya Ay Andhakar Jaha Krishna Taha Nahi Maya Radhika. So similar in that context, Srila Prabhupada is saying this mode of darkness, especially this Mayavad and materialistic speculations, Shunyavad, Nirvisheshvad, Mayavad, materialistic Bhautikavad, all these Vadas, in my mother tongue, Vada means Jhagda, Vada Vivad. So these are all Vada only, these are all Jhagdas only. My philosophy is best and your philosophy is best, or his philosophy is best. They are all Vadas, let it be. We will follow Bhakti Marga or Bhakti Madhu. So, here it is said that all this kind of speculations which gives very much solace to our materialistic heart and the desires, materialistic desires, they are like a darkness. And whenever somebody tries to follow the bhakti process, naturally once Krishna comes into the heart of a devotee, all these badas goes away. And he comes to know that Krishna is the ultimate Supreme Personality of Godhead and I am the servant of that Supreme Personality of Godhead. Let me serve. And there are innumerable incidences in our Srimad Bhagavatam also. That devotees previously they were the follower of something else. But after certain interactions they became a pure devotee of the Lord. The very classic case of Shukadeva Goswami himself. When he came out of the womb of his mother after 17 years. 17? 16 years, okay. I gave one more year to him. So 16 years he was in the womb of his mother. And when he came out of the womb, he was Brahmavadi. Brahmavadi means he was considering the light, impersonal feature of the Supreme Lord. Lord is like a light. And everybody is going to get merged into that light or the Param Brahman of the Lord. And so when he went out, Vyasadeva is a literary incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Of course, he has affection towards his son, but it's not like a materialistic affection. Why Vyasadeva started chasing the Shukadeva Goswami? The reason was he wanted to give him Srimad Bhagavatam. Because being a literary incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vyasadeva was knowing that he is a Brahmavadi. Let me make him a Premavadi or the devotee of the Lord. Okay. So that's why he started chasing him. But Shukadeva Goswami left. So what Vyasadeva did, he made the team of his disciples and he gave only 2 shlokas to his disciples and said, go to the forest and start reciting these shlokas. We should just start these shlokas. Well, really? Yeah. And then the disciples, they went and they started reciting. The first verse they were reciting was Baraha Pedam Natavaravapo Karnayo Karnikaram Bibhadvasa Kanaka Kapisham Vaijayantim Chamalam Randhran Venuradhara Sudhayan Purayan Gopavrinde Vrindaranyam Swapadaramanam Pradisham Gita Kirti. So this wonderful shloka is explaining the beauty of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That Supreme Personality of Godhead is having a very wonderful features. He is having a Morapanka on his head, on his turban, as a Vaijayanti Mala, and with his lotus feet, he is always doing a Ramanam in the Vrindavan forest with his beautiful features. So when Shukadeva Goswami, he was like wandering in the forest, he heard this shloka and said, he's such a wonderful person, my God. But you know, such kind of a wonderful person, those are beautiful, handsome, most of the time they become a celebrity. And once they become celebrity, they have a lot of egoistic heart, they are very harsh, they are very hard-hearted. Most of the time we see in this material world. Once a person gets that name and fame, that shohrat, he becomes very hard. He considers himself to be on a Satva Asman, and his own people to be like that. So then Shukadeva, Vyasadeva gave the second verse to explain Krishna is not hard-hearted. And the second shloka was Aho bakiyam stanakala kutam jigam saya apapayadapya sadhave lebhe gatim dhatrujitam tatanyam kambad yalum sharanam rajema. That handsome personality, that wonderful, beautiful. You know, most of the time Mataji's has has objectives of beautiful, and Prabhuji's have objectives of handsome. Here only Krishna is the person, only male. He is the only male. He is having that adjectives of beautiful. Man cannot be beautiful. He is such a beautiful man. Of course, in my case, मेरे objectives हमेशा गड़बड़ी ही रहते हैं हमेशा. ठीक है. So once it's due to my stay in America, they do it like that. So once I was there in IYF devotees, and very 21-22-year-old boy, he came there and he was like, he talked and everything happened, and after he went, oh my God, he's such a cute person. And I went, cute person? He's a baby boy to say cute person. Well, it's not cute person, that means it's such a simple, he was such a, speaking so wonderfully with such a humble heart, and it's more attractive, certain people when they speak, it's like much more attracted to the heart. In that sense, he's a cute. Oh my God, your objectives are... That's okay, what to do, that's my English actually. So when they started speaking this verse, that Krishna, although is such a wonderful, handsome and such a beautiful person, but still his heart is such a soft, that a Baki, the sister of Bakasur, Putana, when she came, by applying the Kalakuta zehar, she came with the intention to kill Krishna. But Krishna, after killing her, or showing her her own place, that don't try to teach me. My servant is taking this Kalakuta zehar. Shivji, what to speak of, you are giving this Kalakuta zehar to me. So I am sitting, I am sleeping on the Shesha, who can have that fumes, which can create entire disturbance in entire material universe. And they were giving this chota mota Kalakuta zehar to me. That's what Krishna was saying to Putana. And he drank that Kalakuta zehar, and after that he drank even the milk out of the breast of Putana. And because she came in the form of a mother, she was having that heart of a mother. Krishna offered a post of mother in the spiritual world. who can be more compassionate than Krishna? And when Shukadeva Goswami heard it, he said, my God, I want to meet that person. And he asked those devotees, where I can get this person? Oh, you want address of that person? Go to your father. And then Shukadeva Goswami came to his father. Then Vyasadeva recited the entire Srimad Bhagavatam Shukadeva Goswami. And then from a Brahmavadi, Shukadeva Goswami became the devotee of the Supreme Lord. And the second incidence is of Prakashananda Saraswati. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Kashi, Varanasi, went to have a darshan of Kashi Vishwanath, there Prakashananda Saraswati was present with the 10,000 disciples of him. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came and they were having a discourse. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he sat at the place where all these sannyasis were washing their feet. Supreme Personality of Godhead, sitting at such a place where people are washing their feet. Prakashananda Saraswati, you are from the Keshava Bharati Sampradaya, you have taken sannyas from that, you are equally, equal to us. Why you are sitting there? I am such an unfortunate person, I am not a good qualified person. Even my spiritual master said, you are a mad man, you should only recite the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and you should do Kirtan, don't go for these all things. And by seeing the humility of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prakashananda Saraswati got so moved, and then they were having a little bit, Shastrartha. Prakashananda Saraswati got so much attracted to Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that he gave up his Mayavad philosophy and he became a devotee of the Lord. And all his 10,000 disciples also became the devotee of the Lord. So, whether it is a Brahmavadi, Nirvisheshvadi, Mayavadi, or whoever it may be, once they become and they get attracted to Srimad Bhagavatam, they become devotee of the Lord. Because that's what the actual satisfaction for the soul. Understanding, hearing the Katha, hearing the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then and then only soul feels fulfilled in his or her, I don't know, the gender. There is no gender for the soul. Fulfillment of the heart. So that's what I wanted to share with all of you today. Here we will take a small pause.